Und damit ein herzliches Willkommen und Hallo. Ich bin das Simafix. Wir sind zurück im Fake Order und es ist Zeit, eine neue Reise zu beginnen. In ein neues, unbekanntes Gebiet und natürlich eine neue Gefahr. Denn der Tag der Abrechnung ist endlich da. Es ist Zeit für den 6. Lostbelt. Unser nächstes Hauptkapitel nach knapp einem Jahr, ignorieren wir mal Hankyo, ist da und die Pforten zum nächsten Crypter stehen bereit. Es ist Zeit für Lostbelt Nummer 6, Fae Roundtable Domain, Avalon le Fae. Und für diese Cutscene haben wir jetzt übrigens hier nochmal das Spiel gestartet. So, Ladies and Gentlemen, ich bin es Simafix und wir gehen hier erst die Folgen. Bevor wir in die Folgen gehen, gehen wir erstmal kurz ins Menü. Also, nachdem wir, wie gesagt, hier unseren epochalen Fight hatten in Olympus, ein wirklich denkwürdiger Showdown hier mit Kirishima Wutan, der ja, wenn ihr es angeschaut habt, den Max hier zu Tränen im wahrsten Sinne des Wortes gerührt hat, mit unserer guten Canis und natürlich an der Seite von Musashi haben wir das Unmögliche möglich gemacht. Unser Weg führt uns nach Hankyo, irgendwie so oder so ähnlich, und nun ist es an der Zeit. Beryl Gut, der Crypter, der Wutan betrogen hat und auf irgendeine seltsame Art und Weise hier mit der Lostbelt-Königin, die wir übrigens hier sehen, die im Gacha kam, vielen Dank dafür, hat sich zusammengetan, hat natürlich mit deren Hilfe es hier geschafft, Wutan zu betrügen und im Endeffekt seine Pläne zu zerschlagen. Und allein dafür, glaube ich, hatte er es verdient, als der schlimmste aller Krypter zu gelten. Ein Monster in Menschengestalt und ich denke, von dem werden wir noch viel sehen. Liebe Leute, ich will gar nicht so viel rumreden. Wir haben knapp 2 Jahre darauf gewartet. Eine Ewigkeit, die Tage wurden immer länger und die Sekunden haben wir gezählt. Nun ist es an der Zeit für viele besten Lostbelt und die beste Geschichte, die wir bis dato in Fake Order haben, endlich zu erleben. Der dreiteilige Epos, der hier nun startet mit Akt 1, ist nun das, wem wir uns widmen. Und ich würde sagen, wir starten nun endlich mit Lostbelt Nummer 6. Auf nach Britannien, auf zu unserer härtesten Prüfung bis dato. Und meinem nächsten Urlaubsziel. Oh, okay, das ist schon mal Avalon. Das ist alleine schon mal gut. Well, hello there. You with the still unknown fate. I trust you can hear me. Or perhaps hello again, Stargazer, would be more appropriate. Either way, it doesn't really matter. You're here now, and I don't have to be bored out of my skull anymore. So, will you hear what I have to say? I suppose it's less what I have to say, exactly, that it is one of many songs the wind carried to me. This is the story of a single future, what became of an island of mystics that was reduced to the land of the Fae. Those of you without sin, take your leave now, for here you will find the Queen's bottomless castle. They accumulate like rain or ash, they disappear like snow or lies. Our hopes are either up in the shelf or yet in the Queen's hand. But we need only hold out a little longer. On the dawn of the 2000th year, the prophesied child will appear. The child who will bring we Fae folk and humans together. The child who will save the world. Though it be too small for any other to see, the child shall be drawn to the light here as a moth to the flame. Once a child has averted catastrophe in the city of iron and sea of sod, the pilgrimage shall truly begin. Chosen by the staff of selection, the savior, guarded by travelers from afar, shall reach the throne. The throne shall be claimed by a true king. Take up the bloodied crown. Let the 6 bells ring out like raging lightning, like grieving flame. Let them ring out and forge a path for the true king. Let them ring out before the red calamity reaches out. Before the black disaster devour us living. Though we may not be the most diligent of folk, we are yet the free descendants of the Fae. Lacking though our wishes be, all we desire is a brighter tomorrow. Was ist denn das für eine Prophezeiung? Das Kind, das beschworene Kind, was den Stab der Auswahl, also Staff of Selection, also nicht Sword of Selection, aber deutet wahrscheinlich auf Artore hin. Und auf Kosten von Blut und Tod kämpft er sich zu einem Land, wo wir leben können. So what do you think? It takes a sweet time making its point. But you get it, yes? That's just how it is. With prophecies, they don't make sense when you first hear them. But once events unfold, you see exactly what they meant. Mir hat dieser Satz gar nicht gefallen hier. Before the black disaster devour us living. Also bevor das Monstrum kommt, das schwarze Monstrum, was uns auslöschen, alles Leben auslöschen wird. Ja, hört sich nett an. Ich überlege mir nochmal, ob ich nach England fahre. In that sense, they are a lot like a curse that fixed itself to your back before you knew it was there. Eine kryptische Prophezeiung, haben wir da nicht schon genug davon? Well, looks like the scary lady found me. This is all I can do for now. The next time I see you will probably be after everything else is said and done. It's a shame I won't be able to help you fight, but I'm hugely relieved I won't have to fear for my life. Alright then. Then I'll be waiting for you in the confined land. Until next time. Ich liebe Merlin, Mann. Der Typ, Mann, es ist wie damals das erste Mal, als wir in Amerika getroffen haben. Er redet halt einfach, wir haben keine Ahnung was. Er erzählt uns von einer dunklen Prophezeiung, aber das war eindeutig, ich weiß, Maxi schläft immer gerne, aber das war kein Traum. Das war eine Botschaft, die er uns hier gesendet hat, außer im Gefängnis. Und die gruselige Lady hat es gemerkt. Was that a dream? Testing. Good morning, everyone. This is Shion. The time is now 7 a.m. I'm very sorry to disturb you all during your precious, quiet early morning hours. But I have an urgent message to relay to all Novico Chaldea staff. There's been a change in the 6th Lostbelt. The emergency situation we predicted is now in progress. Please, remain calm and come to the command room as soon as you are able. Oh crap, come on, Fu. Ja, lasst euch Zeit. Erstmal morgen Kaffee trinken. Währenddessen hier geht alles unter. Fu. Er riecht den Merlin an uns. Er riecht eindeutig den Merlin an uns. Was ist diese Notsituation? Ich weiß nur, dass der 6. Lostbelt kryptisch und seltsam ist, was ja schon immer angedeutet wurde, aber sonst wissen wir ja gar nichts, ist, dass da dieser verdammte Beryl ist, den ich verdammt aber mit meiner Cane so umbringen werde, Leute. Ihr werdet es nicht glauben, Mann, wie man einen Gegner so vernichten kann. Maschkelight, reporting for duty. What's going on here, Master? Don't bother asking Maxi, Kirei. He and I both just got here ourselves, so we know as little as you. I don't even see my technical advisor or the captain anywhere. The only other ones here are that unflappable alchemist and... Good morning, my distinguished colleagues. I see by your healthy complexion that you all slept marvelous last night. Wonderful. I'd say this fulfills the first condition, wouldn't you, Monsieur? Yes, I think so. It's very lucky that you are on such good health right now. Let us see. We have Maxi and Mesh, the Demi-Servant, the field up team, Menere, the pilot, Tomlin and Kawata, the operators, Octavia, Da Vinci, Assistants, Chin, the vehicle mechanic. Das sind alles Menschen, die ich noch nicht gehört habe. Es ist so geil, stell euch das vor. Die letzte Basis der Menschheit, irgendwie 5 Leute haben da den Angriff auf Chaldea überlebt. und ich so, okay, ich kenne Menere, den Rest habe ich noch nie gesehen. Aber wir sitzen doch da mal zusammen. Ich habe dich beim letzten Mal so angefeuert, als du hier in gegen Hinkyo gekämpft hast. Ja, hab dich noch nie gesehen. Kane, the Munitions and Design Engineer. Aaron, the Record Keeper. Marcus, the Spiriton Engineer. And Goldorf, who was just even enjoying a helping plate of pancakes with a rather generous drizzling of honey. I see not one of you is much as batting an eye at this dire situation. Truly, you're all seasoned veterans. This will make it so much easier to tell you what is going on. Das hört sich so irgendwie an. Okay, gut, die Welt wird in 5 Minuten untergehen, aber das braucht man schon. Oh, fuck. I really don't like where this is going. But come on, let's hear it. What is going on already? Does it have something to do with that searing that light flashing more godly than I've ever seen it flash before? Is there a fire in the kitchen now or something? Oh, no, nothing like that. This is only a tiny planetary crisis that will eradicate us all in about if we do not stop it. Leute, was habe ich gerade gesagt? Naja, hier. Eradication? Well, that's a much bigger deal than I was. Wait! What did you say? You Egyptian knee-sock wearer! It seems very rude of me to boil down to their nationality, appearance, and or choice of apparel. I agree with that, but please, let's not get sidetracked right now. Director Goredofl, Master, and all of the other staff members are still grappling with this news. What exactly do you mean by planetary crisis? I'm sorry, you're right. We do not have a lot of time to spare, so I will be as forthright as I can. As you know, it has been about 3 weeks since the shocking operation to eliminate Limbo. In that time, Nova Chaldea has been tuning up the storm border and devising plans of attack for the remaining 6th and 7th Lostbelt. That said, as I have told you all before, I saw no need to infiltrate Britain, the site of the 6th Lostbelt. So I have been focusing my efforts on the 7th Lostbelt, where the foreign god is hiding out. Yes, I remember. You said we could leave the 6th Lostbelt to its own device because God makes it heller. Ja, because the Britain doesn't have a tree of emptiness anymore. Das war das, was wir gehört haben. Wie gesagt, wir haben immer nur gehört, der tut sich irgendwie gegenseitig selbst malträtieren. Das war ja auch der Ursprung, wieso Beryl ja eigentlich in Olympus war, anstatt in seinem eigenen Lostbelt, weil er gesagt hat, ja, jetzt ist schon alles verloren. Aber so wie es aussieht, steckt da deutlich mehr dahinter. Indeed. The Tree of Emptiness that helped establish the British Lostbelt was used to burn down the Tree of Emptiness in Olympus. As further proof, we have not observed any magical energy readings associated with the Tree of Emptiness coming from Britain since then. As such, the British Lostbelt should disappear on its own, much like the Chinese one did, or so we thought. Right, the British Lostbelt may still be shrouded in a wall of light, but it's no longer a threat to humanity. At least, that was our understanding. Is that not the case? No, it is. We are still keeping it under observation, but we did not consider it a threat. Not until its very moment anyway. This is the Paper Moon's Planetary Observation Grid, and these are Shiva's predictions. According to this, British Lostbelt will vanish in about 24 hours, and when it does, it will also engulf the rest of the planet like an enormous tsunami. Wieso? Ich dachte, die Lostbelts lösen sich einfach auf, wenn sie beseitigt werden. Earth will then crumble under the weight of its own gravity, utterly annihilating the planet. We are not talking about one of the foreign gods' pseudo-black holes. This would well and truly be the end of Earth. This will override humanity's current bad ending, the bleached Earth phenomenon with a completely dead end. Ich hasse Visual Novels Bad Ending. But why is this happening? Ich verstehe es auch nicht, Mann. Das macht doch einfach gar nicht. Nimmt er die, also irgendwie wirkt es so, als würde der Lostbelt so als Bombe wirken. So, das so als, ja, Suizidmanöver, um hier alles zu vernichten. That we don't know. But now that we know what will happen if it left unchecked, we can afford to simply sit back and twiddle our thumbs. Da Vinci and Captain Nemo are on the stormboard as we speak, getting it ready to launch. Up till now, we have been using the shadow borders to infiltrate the Lostbelts via void space. But this sudden development has left us without the time we need to prepare. Fortunately, we now have the storm border, which is capable of directly breaching the walls surrounding the Lostbelt. As a battleship, the storm border is essentially our frontline base. While we still be conducting on-site investigation in the shadow border, having a base where we can always resupply will be a tremendous asset. Furthermore, Trismegistus 2 categorized this phenomenon as a collapse. But one could also call it a trap, or perhaps a pitfall. A pitfall? Then, do you think Britain is going to cave in on itself or sink underwater? I'm afraid I can offer no definitive answer until we get there. Regardless, I suspect not even the foreign god herself foresaw this turn of events. It's all well and good that Britain will disappear, indeed. It's only to be expected now that the Tree of Emptiness is effectively dead. But if that disappearance is going to engulf the entire planet, then it is a matter we must investigate and ultimately resolve. After all, there would be no feasible way to restore Earth to its pre-bleached state if there was no left to restore.
Okay, I'm with you there, but what the hell can we do in only 24 hours?
A lot. As a matter of fact, you see, the 24-hour period is in our time frame. But according to Shiba, time moves very differently within the Lostbelt. Once inside the British Lostbelt, our time constraint will cease to be a concern. So as long as you can resolve the phenomenon while you are there, we should all be set. That said, time is still definitely not on our side. Which is why we are going to have all Chaldea stuff board the storm border. And head for Britain as soon as we finish our safety check. Then, once you arrive at its wall of light, you will use the storm border's dimension-piercing drill to breach it. And make your way into Britain, the 6th Lostbelt. That is all I have to say, and as luck would have it, the shadow border just arrived at the dock. I know this mission is being sprung on you very suddenly, but eventually we'll fill you in on the details about the storm border. Be careful out there, everyone. I cannot wait to hear what sort of fun hijinks you get up to this time. Hä? Aren't you coming too? Ich dachte alle. Sorry, you're right. I did say the entire staff. My bad, I did not phrase that as intended. I felt it would be much too presumptuous to count a newcomer like myself a member of Chaldea staff. Please, do not worry about me. I'm just going to stay here and continue to monitor the 7th Lostbelt. Do your best out there, Maxie. I promise I will do the same here. That said, if you all should blow this one, both I and this space will cease to exist in about 24 hours. So I am counting on you more than ever. But I'm not all worried. I know you will succeed. Yeah, we will. Count on it. Sion, solange du nicht irgendwann mal ein fertiger Servant in diesem Spiel ist, solange kann die Welt nicht untergehen, oder? Also, liebe Leute, erstmal ein Trip nach Britain. Ich fahre durch den Eurotunnel. Ich weiß nicht, wie unsere Leute fahren, aber wieder unsere schöne, pompöse Shadow Border. Attention, all crew members. I repeat, attention, all crew members. We've arrived at the waters near the British Lostbelt 2 hours after departing the Wandering Sea, just as we expected. We are currently 200 kilometers north of the Isles of Britain. The Wall of Light looks to be a dimensional rift, just like the World's End from the 6th Singularity. Thanks to Da Vinci and Professor's analysis, we've learned that the rift is in its thinnest on the southern side. So that is where we'll be heading, and we begin to dimensional boring as soon as we arrive. We expect to begin the operation in 45 minutes. All hands remain at your post until further notice. Die Shadow Border sieht so geil aus nach dem Upgrade, man. There you have it. We're going to begin the operation as soon as possible without any breaks. The storm border's a big ship, after all. So I can't just slip into void space like the Shadow Border. But what it can do is use it a massive populous force and magical energy barriers. To withstand the dimensional friction that separates different worlds, basically it's a giant drill. What we are going to do is fire the storm border through that wall of light like a bullet. The entry impact will be just as strong as it is for a zero day, so make sure you're all in a calm state of mind. So if you're confused, distraught or terrified, then your soul might not be able to keep up with your body.
Yes, I'm well aware. You mean that weird sensation where it feels like your chest and head are being stretched out like taffy, right? No. Need to worry about us, Captain. This is our first rodeo. More importantly, we do have a firm plan of action in place, yes? Because I don't even want to think about entering the Lostbelt without a strategy or a goal.
Of course we do, don't worry, Gotti. We know exactly what it is we have to do. After all, we are always planning on going after the British Lostbelt at some point. Really? You were? But I thought the British Lostbelt was no longer a threat, at least up until now. Right you are, but nonetheless we are indeed making plans to explore it well before now. While we only have a few bits and pieces of information to work with at the moment, we do know that Beryl Gut remains in the British Lostbelt. And that its king was able to launch an attack on Olympus' Tree of Emptiness. What's more, this king was even able to burn the very Tree of Emptiness required to sustain the Lostbelt. While it's still unclear whether Beryl tricked them into doing so, or if they acted with informed consent, what matters is they possess enough power to burn a Tree of Emptiness single-handedly. And then there's Romgoniat, right? Yep, a hugely powerful spell akin to Divine Punishment that was able to reach Olympus all the way from Britain. A mystic that surpasses even Kirichida's ideal magecraft. That was Romgoniat, alright. It's a spell devised not by human hands, but by the inner sea of the planet itself. It would be a powerful weapon against the foreign god, which means it's something we desperately need. The planet's inner sea, what is that?
Oh, that. It's basically a paradise of legends. Our mythology got some kind of promised eternal holy land, right? Utopia, the Garden of Eden, the land of the young Tyr or Nook, and so on, where Britain's is called Avalon. It's supposed to be an otherworldly paradise that can't be reached by ordinary means. It's also said to lie inside the planet, and that it's where the souls of stars go to sleep. Pretty much every clock mage has heard about it. I know I called it a legend, but that's not how the people who can actually see it think of it. There are some people out there who really might be able to get on the planet's inner sea. Hell, the clock tower's even got a department for exploring it. That said, we are talking about a place that's completely outside human comprehension. Once you get mixed up with something like that, you're practically already lost to a world outside your own. Haha, what are you saying, Moini Pizza? Are you talking about the underground workshop? Nah, just on the archaeology team with a fancy name. Really? How could anyone take them seriously after they proudly proclaimed they found Earth's belly button underneath the clock tower? I may be something of a magical elitist, but even I would be embarrassed to say something like that with a straight face. If we are quite done with the digression about the major cessation and the clock tower's inner politics, let's return to the subject at hand, shall we? Now that we know that the king of British Lostbelt controls Romgoniat, we need to investigate it and learn how it works. Indeed, the Romgoniat is the very reason why we are already making plans to explore the British Lostbelt. While the circumstances have forced us to act sooner than we had hoped, we are always going to pay them a visit eventually. So then Master's mission this time isn't just to investigate the Lostbelt. Well, we do of course also need to prevent the collapse Trismegistus II warned us about. Securing Romgoniat is our top priority. As such, our ultimate goal for this Lostbelt is to negotiate with its king for it. You mean you want to cut a deal with this Lostbelt king? Someone capable of essentially firing intercontinental ballistic missile at will?
Leute, Mann, ich mag's nicht in Gordys Haut zu sein, Mann. Er trägt die Verantwortung, Mann. Er hat die schwerste Bürde. Nee, also ganz ernsthaft, wir haben ja gesehen, wie mächtig Romgoniat ist in Olympus, dass er, wie gesagt, einfach Woodtimes Tree of Emptiness hier vernichtet hat. Und die zweite Aktion auch dafür gesorgt hat, dass er dann verstorben ist. Doch, die goldene Frage ist, erinnert euch nochmal an die Lostbelt Kings, die alle gesagt haben, okay, ja, wieso soll ich euch helfen, Mann? Ihr zerstört meine Welt. Und ich meine, die halbwegs auf unserer Seite waren, sowas wie Skadi oder Shirang, die, wo ich mal sage, okay, irgendwie kommt man mit denen reden, haben auch gesagt, wieso sollen wir euch helfen, Mann? Ihr vernichtet unsere Welt. Ich meine, die Welt ist aber vom Untergehen. Seltsam, liebe Leute. Yep, honestly, I think it's pretty reckless, even for us. I'd love to get my hands on Romgoniat too. But between the Stormborder, the Heroic Spirit System and the Black Barrel, I think we should be able to neutralize the so-called planet-level threat like a foreign god if the circumstances call for it. Shion was adamant that we need a divine construct, though, so here we are. Well, Miss Shion is an Atlas alchemist. I have no doubt she has something unique in mind. And let's not forget, we wouldn't have the Nautilus or the Stormborder if it weren't for her. So, I, for one, am perfectly willing to go along with its plan of hers. Especially if it leads us to acquiring Romgoniert or something equivalent. Therefore, don't you think you're being just a little overly optimistic here, Holmes? This could be the biggest burden we've asked the Maxi to bear so far, you know? This mission does seem a little different than the others. You have to continue this conversation later. We've almost reached the drilling point. All hands return to post. Brace for space-time crossing impact. Alright, sorry, Captain.
Oh, where's my Torte? Oh crap, that was right in front of us. Sorry for not paying close attention, Captain. Alright, I understand. I still don't like it, but at least I get the point of this mission now. Remember, Maxi, this won't be like any of the other Lostbelt we've faced so far. Negotiation requires a careful, thoughtful approach, so try to keep your reckless risk-taking to no more than 30% of the usual antics.
Good grief, it seems Goredofl beat me to the punch. As important as this mission may be, it should be within our ability to acquire this weapon. Fortunately, we have both knowledge and time on our side. Regardless of what sort of person we may be dealing with, as long as we take things one step at a time, we are sure to arrive at the truth eventually. Maxi, strapped in and ready. Geben wir noch schnell Messi unser Händchen. Fuhr auf mein Bäuchlein drücken. Und dann geht's los. Gut, Professor, start the final safety check. Stormborder initiating zero cutting. Ich liebe diesen Musikcheck. Return engine 1, 2 and 3. All are green. Space and time difference correction between Stormborder and drilling target have been calculated. Da Vinci will protect the ship's armor from the computer room, while Animo's serious focus on maintaining our route.
The computer room just gave us all the clear, Captain. We are looking at a 99% chance of success.
Dimension-piercing battleship Stormborder, move out. Prepare to enter the 6th Lostbelt. Und damit geht es los. Unser bis dato spannendstes Unterfangen, der Lostbelt Nummer 6. Lostbelt App EX 2019. Fae Roundtable Domain Avalon le Fae. The moment a planet is born. Das Jahr 2019, allein das ist schon sehr, sehr interessant. Wir sind also in dem Moment gehüpft, wo die Welt untergegangen ist, wo der Foreign God gekommen ist. Also nicht in die Vergangenheit, nicht in die Zukunft, einfach direkt ins Hier. Oh! Und das hier ist... Hier. Das hier ist hier. Gut mal wieder adäquat ausgedrückt. Ja, keine Ahnung, wo wir sind. Auf jeden Fall, liebe Leute, müssen wir uns hier durcharbeiten. Und beim nächsten Mal machen wir unsere ersten Schritte im 6. Lostbelt. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.